Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture. Hey y'all, welcome to Saturday Morning Makes. This is Memorial Day weekend 2024, and I wanted to make sure that I get my get my makes out there for you guys before I head out to the pool. And I have plans to meet my friend out there in about an hour. So I have been busy. I used the background paper. Well, let me back up. Earlier this week, I shared these two tags that I made. So when I made them, I essentially made like what they would call either a mother or a master board. In mixed media world, they call it that. So you take a full sheet of paper, whatever size you're using, and you just do your mixed media magic to that entire page, and then you break it down and you use it for different things. So initially I use it for these two tags, and there is a video. If I forget to link it, it was just earlier this week, so it's not too far back on my videos list. But yeah, if you'd like to watch that, feel free. I would love it if you did. So once I made those though, I still had a bulk of the sheet. So I made these 4 projects with the bulk of that, but I want to talk about this one first. I wanted to introduce these so I could get the tags out of the way, but let me scoot these over. And so this guy, I had this green background, and I have a couple others, again from the other day when I was making, and I had just sopped up a bunch of ink that was left on my work surface, and I think I got like 5 of these. And so this background started as one of those. And I have these new stamp sets that I got from Holtz. Just, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, I gifted myself some new stamps for halfway to Halloween. And this guy just sits here and looks at me, and so I had to give him some attention. There we go. So when I stamped him, I actually double stamped him, which means my paper shifted in the MISTI, and he has kind of a Frankenstein head going on, but that doesn't make me mad. That's really the only place, well, sorry to say that's the only place you can see that I misstamped, but I guess all in through his head you can see that because there's not that much detail. He kind of has a Frankenstein-y head anyway, if you just look at that. But anyway, I love him. So I stamped him, I heat embossed him in black, and then I did a lot of stamping along the edges with, I have the condemned in there, I have the numbers, I have this, I have this, I have the poison. And I was stamping, I wanted a scripty script, not just like signage or advertising. So I inked this up and I sprayed it with water, and then I stamped it on, and I love that watercolor effect. But I've added so many layers that all of that just is part of the background at this point. But I wanted you to know my process. And if I know none of you are in person, obviously, but you can see it. You know how with mixed media, if you start looking down deep to the layers below, you can see all the detail in there, and you can definitely see it. So it was looking very naked, so I tore this side. I liked that torn edge. And then I went through my stencils and I pulled in this one, and I just added some black texture paste, the black opaque texture paste from Distress, or Distress texture paste from Ranger and Holtz. But then I also came back in with this guy. I wanted this kind of gothic-y look, so I added some of those on there. Actually, I think I did this one first. And then I came back in with this one, which I never know what it's called. So I have the larger one of this as well. I just got it. And I never would have thought that I would have a large and a small of anything, but there is value in having both. There really is. But anyway, those are the 2 that I have on there. And then this paper is from this book of scrapbook paper that I got from Amazon last year, and I have been using it. I've used it quite a bit. They're beautiful papers. They're very thin. They're glossy, but they're easy to layer. They're beautiful, and the imagery is fantastic. In my cart on Amazon, I actually have another one, but I'm trying to restrain because I have so many papers. But I love that. The Harlequin. I love a Harlequin. And I did some splattering to both this layer and that layer, and then of course I lifted it up on a layer of the solid black to give it some visual separation, but it needed some brightness. So I brought in this little trim, wrapped it around, lifted the whole panel up on some foam tape, and then this Miss You Lately, this is from, because Miss You in May, right? So I had to do another Miss You card before the month is out. It was this stamp from Whimsy, and these are the bold statements, and I did not look to see if these are on the retired list or not, or if they're even still available, because I was just making for me. So if they are still available, I will link to them. If not, I'll try to find something similar. What I do know, kind of a fun trivial piece, if you will, Nina Marie Trapani actually created this set for Whimsy. And that was new information to me about a year-ish ago. So I thought that was really fun that Nina Marie did that. So she has been in the crafty world for some time now. But I went back and I added some blingage. So I've been going through my blingage, trying to use up the things that are not This Calls for Confetti, because my TCFC stash is building so fast. And I love it. And typically that's all I use, but I also have these other beautiful things that I also want to use. And I'm not finding the one that I put on there. What in the world? Oh, I pulled it out of this one. Ooh! All the mini little pieces are coming out. So when they make the confetti, or the sequins, when they pop that hole out, this particular company left all the holes in there as extra confetti. But isn't that a fun mix? There's silver, and then there's kind of that brassy gold, and then the stripes, and then the little pieces of confetti. I love it. I think it's fun. But I pulled those brassy kind of goldy ones out, and because I wanted there to be a little bit of extra blingage and shine, and there's still little pieces of confetti that fell out. But anyway, that's what I did there. And I actually took a little bit of stenciling to the sentiment just to add some extra something. And then on this little guy, I added one of these teeny tiny little acrylic hearts. And these are from Honeybee, and they've been in my stash for years. And there's 3 different sizes. They're super cute. Well, there's only 2 sizes there in my hand, but there's the 3rd size. They're super cute. They've been in my stash forever. But again, since I typically use TCFC, This Calls for Confetti, these often sit neglected. So I'm trying to use them. And in regards to that, y'all stay tuned to the very end, because I have a little activity, if you will, that I would love for you guys to participate in if you want to. So I rarely do on the inside of my cards, but also this is a 5x7. I went inside, I did a little bit of ink blending around the edges after I distressed the edges on the outside. And then I added all 3 of those stencils. Oh, I hadn't introduced this one yet. Because the Harlequin was on the outside, I wanted the Harlequin on the inside as well. So I did just a very light layer of ink blending, and then I brought in this guy, and I went around and did a light layer of blending through the stencil. And then I blended through this one all the way around, just in light little bits. And then I came in with this one and I did it just a little bit darker so that it would stand out from the other layers, but they would all meld in there nicely. And I think that's a really fun look. I'm glad I did that, and I'm happy with how it turned out. And this little bit right here is probably unusual, but it's the piece that I tore off there. So I'm not mad about it. I thought it was fun and added extra little element to the inside of the card. That a lot of people do a lot of stuff to the inside of their cards. I typically don't. So for me, that's an added extra. But there is that card. I love it. I think it's fantastic. Yeah, everything about it. So on to my others. So this one, I took the largest part of that excess paper and I die cut it out with my, my rectangle dies. The same ones that I always use. They are, you know what, I can never remember if they're Creek Bank. I think they are Creek Bank. They might be Cottage Cuts, but I'm 99% sure that they're Creek Bank Creations. But I used this size to cut it out, and then I used these edgers from Sunny Studios, and I used this guy because I wanted to add a layer so it looks kind of pieced together. And so if that's not your vibe, if you want something more clean, then definitely don't go about this the way that I did. But I had these pieces of this cardstock. This is an old Stampin' Up! Cardstock. I can't remember the name of it, but one of my favorite colors, favorite colors. But I only had like 2 little chunks left. And so I just went through with my die and I cut strips and then I pieced them together. And again, you can tell that that's exactly what I did, right? But that doesn't make me mad, and I don't think that it'll make the recipient mad. But if it makes you mad as a creator, then just use something or color. White cardstock, I could have easily done that because I have very similar inks that I could have done that with, but I wanted to use this. But you can see I used the same color for the layer of the You Are Enough. And let me see, I'm sure I've shown that here before. That is Christina Werner creation for Stampin' Up. No, she used to work for Stampin' Up. She did this for Simon. I love it. And you are enough. Each of us, we are enough. And then the foliage is from Pink Fresh Studio. So it is this one. It's called Leafy Branch, and I believe it's still available on their website, but I'm having trouble finding it like at scrapbook.com and things like that. But I really do love it. And the inside does cut out. So if you want to keep the insides in, you'll either need to put something on the back to hold them in, or just go back and paper piece them in, which is what I do. But you can see where the colors are off. I didn't get quite the right size, but I'm not mad about it. This and the sentiment is also from this excess paper that I had. And that is that really cheap watercolor card. That's what that was made with. But on the background, I added some more stamping with this guy. And then I ink blended around the edges, layered it all up. And then I used some more little blingage from my stash. This one is this mix, and I feel like this one may have been from Twiddler's Nook, but I think, so this one's Honeybee. This one, I don't know. I don't know where that one came from. This one is either Twiddler's Nook or Doodle's Paper Playground. Sparkle Blends is what she called them, and I can't remember. But there's lots of different things in this mix. It's a gorgeous mix. And I dumped it out in a bowl to kind of pull things out. And I ended up using these little jimmies. And they just shine enough. They add a lot of interest. And there's just a hint of green and a hint of yellow, depending on which one you choose. And I thought that was perfect. But as I was playing with these Honeybee hearts, I decided that I wanted to put a heart element on all of them. So I put a teeny tiny little black heart there as well. So there's nothing else black, so it may look a little incongruent, but I love it. There we go. So then I used my tag collection die set from Tim Holtz and Sizzix, one of my most used items in my craft room. My tag dies, as a rule, are my most used. And then I cut these 3 tags from the rest of that background. I'm just going to call it a master board, from the rest of that master board. So I cut a front and then I cut a back as well out of that same. This is a better watercolor card. I want to say that this might be a Canson. This on the back is that really cheap, poor quality paper, but it works great for things like this. So there I have those, and I used the sweet little sassy witch hat from Simon Says Stamp. This is the first time I've used it, and I don't know what happened to the bag, but yeah, so I had to go and find some videos and stuff because I wasn't sure what all the elements were, and I got it figured out. So there's also these tiny little pieces, and when I first cut it out, these were still attached, you know, inside, and I didn't know what I was doing. So I had to figure it out, and I did. And so I think it's really sweet. I think it's fun. So these feathers are from a die that's in my stash that was gifted to me, I think, by one of my veterans. And I'm unable to locate it right now, but I die cut one of each, and I use them kind of as a foundation for building up my elements. So you can see I used the witch hat and then the word poison from here. And then he is from here and he is from here. And I put little spiders, and they are this guy as well. So you can see that I haven't put any words on them. I did that on purpose. When I'm ready to put a word on them, I have plenty of spooky Halloween words. I can put boo or eek or some kind of fun sentiment. And on this one, I may still put "you say witch" like it's a bad thing. Let me take a drink of my coffee. Oh, that was needed. So anyway, little tags, or the toppers. This is lace from my stash that I got from Amazon recently. And this is from Michael's from the end of the season last year. They had this whole, I don't know, it was this whole big bunch of trims, and this was one of those trims. This as well, I took a little clipping to go there, and then on this one I made it like it was like a ribbon, right? When you get an award, there's a circular part, and then there's a little tag that hangs off, the ribbon tag. So did that, colored these guys up, used my circle dies from Whimsy to cut them out, used my Olos to color them up, and very simple coloring, right? And then on the backs of these, I also did some more of the stamping with the scripty font stamp from Tim Holtz. And I did some more splattering, and I ink blended around the edges. And now these bits and these little edges right here are just leftovers from when I used the stamp or the dies from Sunny Studio. They were left over. So I really like how they look. I think it's fun. I have another one up there, another little piece of the scallop part. And then these are the excess, the piece that you would normally throw away. And I always think that with the spiky, jaggedy edges, they're perfect for like the Halloween vibe. So that is how I did that. I love the nice clean back. A dirty back used to not bother me, but as I step things up and as I learn and I grow and my craft evolves, yeah, I like it to look a little bit neater on the back side. So I did that. And then I added a little heart on each of these as well. The blingage from these are all different. So this one too, I think they both are from this mix. And this is from Sparkle Blends, Doodles Paper Playgrounds. The mix was called Lemonade. So you can see most of it is a super bright yellow, but I pulled out some of the lighter colors. The translucent, they're kind of like that, but smaller. Well, you can see they're like little circles. So up here I have some of the confetti, and down here I have some of the flat confetti with the cut in the middle. And these actually are from a different mix. These are from this one. It's Ivory Elegance, and this is one of my absolute favorites from them. Love this Ivory Elegance. And this one is from, all these little guys on here are from this mix. This is Sassy and Crafty. This is an old one. Sassy and Crafty's not been in business for many years now. Well, I'll say several years. Anyway, I just went through and I pulled these little flat green confetti sequins, and I just glued them around kind of haphazardly along the same line that the feather and the sticks are creating. And then of course I did add sticks to each of them. And those are leftover twigs from my asparagus ferns. And that is what I have to share with you guys today. So I've been busy in a very fun way. I've enjoyed just playing and creating for me. Somebody asked me what I do with my tags, and mostly I just look at them. I rarely give them away, and I had the idea of giving these away as a set, and I might, but I'm going to have to go through a grieving process. And I know that probably sounds weird. When I first started paper crafting, I could not see the value in tags at all. And you can use them for a lot of different things, but I just love them. To me, each one is a little mini work of art, and each one is so different. I have some that are clean and simple, one layers, etc., etc. Then I have others that are built up and bulky and end up looking like this. You know, I mean, and this kind of color scheme, this green and brown with the gold in there, the accents of gold and copper and brass, make my heart so happy. Yeah, so anyway, thank you for letting me share my fun with you guys. And so if you've stuck with me this long, what I would like for you to do is put your email address down in the comment section, because I have about 10 of these packs of confetti that are left over from my stash that I need to, I don't want to say get rid of, because I don't want to get rid of anything, but I would love for them to have a new home where they're going to be used, because I really need to make room for, well, basically de-stash, because I need to make room for this calls for confetti. So this one is called Love, Coffee, like you're signing a letter, Love Coffee. So there's all kinds of different fun things in there, but leave me your email address in the comment section down below, because depending on how many people comment, probably everyone will get a container of confetti. Or if I have to choose, I will choose by a random name selector, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12. I think I have 16 packs. So if I have 16 commenters, everybody is going to get one. But yeah, if people didn't stick around to this point, then they don't know that it's happening. So again, y'all, leave a comment with your email address downstairs, and I will contact you if you have one. So this is Saturday morning. I don't know the date, but it's Memorial Day weekend 2024. I will keep this open until Monday. And on Monday, I will alert everybody that I will alert the winners on your comment. So pay attention. If you get an alert from YouTube, come back and read it, because yeah, I just want you to be able to get your prize. So thanks, guys, so much. Hop around, use that hashtag, this hashtag SatMornMakes, so that you can hop around and see everybody else. I'll also have hashtag Miss You in May. So if you have posted a project for Miss You in May, make sure you tag me if you would. I've not seen very many, which is fine. Like, nobody has to participate, but I also don't want to miss them if somebody has put something out there and was hoping that I would see it, because I just haven't. I've seen very few. So thanks again, guys. Go have fun. Have a great holiday weekend. Mwah. I'll see you next time. Bye.